For more now on the implications of these tariffs, I want to bring in Selena Wang and chief economist at Numerator, Leo Feeler. Thank you so much for being with us, guys. Selena, let's start with you. The clock is ticking. How are global trade partners reacting to this?
Hey, Janae. Well, look, our global trading partners, they have been bracing for this moment. And the reaction to President Trump's announcement of those sweeping new tariffs that go into effect next week really range from relief to shock, because we're talking about tariffs that range from 10 to a whopping 40%. And President Trump, he's provided all sorts of reasons for why he's taking this strategy. He's talked about bringing in revenue for the country, about fixing trade imbalances, punishing countries for not doing enough to stop the flow of fentanyl, to bring manufacturing back to the United States as well. But we have seen that he's even tariffed countries that we have trade surpluses with, countries like Brazil getting hit with steep tariffs. And at the same time, the president, he's also targeted our allies and adversaries alike. For so many of our trading partners, it's been very unpredictable. It's been hard for them to know what's coming next down the pipeline. A country like Switzerland, they're getting hit with 39% tariffs. Their government has made it very clear that they're not happy about this, that they believed they were in good faith, positive, constructive talks with the United States. So they're still hoping to bring that tariff rate down. Not to mention, we are still in talks, Janae, with countries like Mexico and China, while steep tariffs remain on them as those talks are ongoing. So still a lot of uncertainty.
And that's the impact so far with global trade partners. But Leo, I want to bring you in to talk about the impact on U.S. consumers and how high prices could increase on imported goods.
Yeah, so with these tariff rates, we really should expect prices to increase anywhere from around 15 to around 40% on some of these imports. And it really will affect a wide swath of products that we tend to buy. I'll give you just a simple example. That soda that you drink comes in an aluminum can. That aluminum gets tariffed, which means even if the soda itself is produced in the United States, the inputs, something like aluminum, might come from abroad, and that's going to end up raising consumer prices. The expectation is that consumer prices, given the current tariff rates that have been announced, will mean that the average consumer in the US is going to pay about $5,000 more per year once tariffs are fully in effect.
About $5,000 more for the average U.S. consumer, and so many families will be struggling to make that happen. Leo, you also say that you're concerned over how tracking inflation may get harder after the firing of the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Explain that to us, because this has made a lot of news.
Exactly. So the Bureau of Labor Statistics collects data both on employment, what's happening in the labor market, and what's happening to consumer prices. What are the prices that consumers are seeing at checkout when they're actually buying a particular product? Now, the big concern is that the Bureau of Labor Statistics serves as an early warning system, right? Are we starting to see consumer prices going up? And that allows policymakers to do something in advance of inflation becoming widespread, of us getting much higher price increases and much faster price increases. If the Bureau of Labor Statistics becomes politicized, something like this happened in Argentina in 2007. This is pretty routine in countries like Russia and China. If this starts happening in the US, we really won't know that inflation is spreading until it's really way too late and inflation has become entrenched. So I am very concerned that we're going to not only have higher inflation, but we're going to miss the opportunity to do something about it earlier.
That is really interesting to hear you say that things like this happen regularly in places like China and Russia, and to see it now happening here in the U.S. and the potential fallout from that. Leo Feller, thank you for being with us to break that all down. Selena Wang, thank you for your reporting as always.